seem to be doing a lot of vlogs involving me sitting in the car talking to you, but we are off to John's granddad's, and it's his dad's side of the family, so he's got 2 aunts, 3 cousins, 2 uncles, parents and a brother there, and his granddad obviously. Is that it?
That was very quickly counted.
That was good, wasn't it?
That was good.
That was good. So yeah, it's Sunday today, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like we're losing all sense of, it's that week, isn't it, between, I find Christmas and New Year and the week in between really confusing, because I just kind of, we're both working through it, but we've got these random days off and doing weird shifts and stuff, so it gets a bit confusing. But yeah, anyway, so we're off to that. I don't know how much I'm going to film when I'm there, but I'll probably make sure I get the food, because we've got to take our own food. Well, I've got to take my own food because I'm vegetarian. I'm the only vegetarian, and I always take my main thing, but they do like veg and dessert and stuff. And let's face it, dessert is my favourite.
Just kind of dying.
Yeah, whatever's underneath is your prize.
Have we won anything? No. Well, we've got another chance, John. We've got another chance.
No, I thought, well, of course we can do that. How much they gave me? I'm better off staying on the economy 7. It's like a penny cheaper, but without the...
£1.
Woo! It's probably how much Scratch-Con cost. It did. It says £1 on there. Did you win anything, Lee?
No, not yet. I've got to ring a scrap metal.
Something like that, isn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to get I think I've got everything there.
Right, probably picked it up with Tom. Well done, how many have you got there?
No, just quite brown as you plate with.
More gravy.
No, I'm alright. You're alright.
And a Yorkshire pudding.
I'll go and get more, it's here, gravy. I've got mine. The wrong version, really, who sat on that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you're like the
Georgie
tallest.
didn't want to go on it.
You're like the tallest person in the room.
No, Stephen's taller than me.
Did he make me win that? Oh, it smells quite nice, isn't it?
Tiny calendar.
Oh, I've got a colouring in thing, haven't I? Yeah, I've got a colouring.
They were complaining this morning that the...
We haven't got any crayons though. What's the joke? You want a colouring in, Leo? That was in my cracker. I haven't got any crayons.
Just the tat.
Knock knock, who's there?
Just get a big black bag.
Do you want to hear the joke? Oh, you already read it? Oh, that's crap.
I've already read it.
What's yours, Lee?
Why did the turkey join the band? Because it had drumsticks.
Have you had these crackers before?
No, that's just a bad joke.
I think he's putting stickers on you. Where'd the stickers come from? Oh, in a cracker.
I need them because they're for the computer and for the shape so that David can do both. Because the minute I get up and have to go anywhere, I'd be falling over because
I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him.
Original pigeons doing some weird flying.
I had 2 pairs for one.
So these are for...
Is it still on his back?
No, he's just got both in his hand now.
Oh.
See outline.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Ice cream, yeah, please.
Well done.
That's it. We've got more bowls. That's all there is.
Is it apple? It's just apple, isn't it?
I'm going to have a bit of the roulade, please.
We're on our way home now, and look at that sky. Like, this camera doesn't really do it justice. It's properly orange. It looks beautiful. We're home now, and have you eaten a bit too much, John? Is that why you're lying on the floor? He's feeling a little sicky.
I have a food baby.
Yeah, or several. I think it's possibly triplets.
What? Yeah.
I know his stomach like looks ridiculously flat, but
It's because of all the muscle keeping it down. I think that's it all.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
really. That's my excuse, and I'm going to go for it. In fairness, it was 3 main courses plus 2 desserts.
It was a lot of food. It was. But I did tell you at the time that your eyes were bigger than your belly and that you're going to be feeling ill later. And
That's not factually correct, because your eyes are about that big and your belly's that big. So my belly is bigger than my eyes. Just not big enough to cope with.
All the food that you've
Yeah.
put in there.
Yeah.
So now you're feeling ill, like I told
I'm
you you
not
were.
feeling ill. I'm just feeling
Bloated,
bloated,
fat,
yeah, heavy, uncomfortable.
so
I'm
sick.
not ill. No.
You said you
I'm
felt
not-
sick earlier.
No, it was. I burped and the burp had
Lumps. Yeah.
acid in, should we say.
Lumps. Oh. Molly missed us, didn't you? Look at you. Like, hello, you're not paying attention to me. Yeah, Mummy wasn't so stupid and didn't eat loads of food where she felt really sick.
I didn't feel. I had no problem at the time. It all went in.
So you want dinner then, yeah? Big, fat, juicy dinner. Oh, he's thinking about it. McDonald's. Couldn't either. We ain't got any dinner. We didn't get any dinner.
McDonald's is open.
Yeah. And it is literally like 2 minutes down the road. Happy New Year, everyone! Woo! It's now the Roaring 20s. Again, for some people, if you are very old. I hope you have had a good New Year's Eve, and I hope your 2019 was better than our 2019. I'm so glad to see the back of it. I've never not missed a year so much in my entire life. So onwards and upwards in 2020, I hope. We were going to actually go out today to meet some friends, but one of our friends is ill, so we're going to rearrange for that. So we're just having a day in like we did yesterday evening. We had that in, had a few like more nibbles, beige food. I've had enough of beige food now. Had some more of it at lunchtime today. I feel like today is the cut-off point. No more beige food because my body can't take it anymore. As this is my first vlog of 2020, I have new equipment. I have a ring light, so this is why I'm like, woo, in focus, as I'm going to put makeup on today because you're going to see every, like, flaw on my face. And also I have a microphone, I don't know if you can see it. So hopefully, do you like my chins? Hopefully the sound quality will improve on these vlogs as well. So I just wanted to come on and do a little bit of conclusion, I guess, of my 2019. And one of the things I wanted to do was show you some of the books that I've read this year. I read 28 books in 2019, which sounds quite a lot, but I used to read 60 a year, so it's not really that much. But I've picked 5 books that were my favourite. They were the only 5 books that I gave 5 stars on Goodreads, so I wanted to show you just in case you may be interested and want to put them on your to-read list. If you've got any suggestions of books that I need to read, then please put them in the comments below because I'm all up for adding to my to-read list. I go through my books, as you can imagine, quite quickly, and I'm hoping this year as well that I'm going to get back into reading because I tailed off at the end of 2019 and I need to get back into it because I do love it and there's so many books I want to read and I just don't have any excuses. I need to get off the social media and back into reading. These books are in no particular order. They're just the 5 books that I love the most. I like different genres. I like thrillers. I like classic books. I like poetry. I just read pretty much everything apart from horror. I'm not a fan of horror. So there'll be no Stephen King and things like that coming from over here. But these aren't necessarily all new books that were this year. They're just new to me that I read this year. So some of them, authors have already released other books since these ones that are out and things like that. But anyway, the first one I'm going to show you is this one. Robert Galbraith, or J.K. Rowling, Lethal White. I absolutely love this series of books. This is, I think, the 4th one. I'll read you a little bit of the back so you know what it's about. So it says, when Billy, a troubled young man, comes to Private Eye Cormoran Strike's office to ask for his help investigating a crime he thinks he witnesses a child, Strike is left deeply unsettled. While Billy is obviously mentally distressed and cannot remember many concrete details, there is something sincere about him and his story, but before Strike can question him further, Billy bolts in a panic. I love the main character. He is not your stereotypical leading man, like he's not stereotypically good looking and suave and all those kind of things, and I love that about him, and I love the relationship of the 2 main characters, their friendship and everything. I just think it's great, and she's just brilliant writer, whether it's the Harry Potter books or these books. You just, before you know it, you're halfway through the book. Literally, it's just so easy to read, and yeah, I just think she makes books really accessible and really entertaining, and as I said, easy to read. So yeah, love that. This next book is a book that I love so much. It's probably in my top 10 books ever that I've read. And it's the one that I actually gave John for Christmas Eve because I loved it that much, and I think he should read it because I think he'd really love it as well, and he is so far, I think. So this is called A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. And he's actually released lots of other books as well. I don't know whether he's released one since this one, but this was actually suggested to me on Instagram. So many people really loved it and said that I should read it, and they were not wrong. I absolutely loved it. So I read a little bit of the back of this one as well, so you know what it's about, and I don't give anything away. Ove is almost certainly the grumpiest man you will ever meet. He thinks himself surrounded by idiots, joggers, neighbours who can't reverse a trailer properly, and shop assistants who talk in code. But isn't it rare these days to find such old-fashioned clarity of belief and deed, such unanswering conviction about what the world should be, and a lifelong dedication to making it just so? In the end, you will see there is something about Ove that is quite irresistible. And that is so true. It is just a lovely, lovely book. It's kind of sad in parts, but it's also funny, so you don't really get upset. So it's good sort of pathos sort of with the two together, the sadness and also the funny bits, and that's why it makes it more touching. And yeah, it's dead easy to read, and that's probably the book actually that probably was my favourite from last year if I had to pick one, even though I said at the beginning it's in no particular order. That one would probably be my ultimate favourite. The next book is a modern poetry book by Danielle Dobie, I think that's how you pronounce her surname, called I Am Her Tribe. As you can see, I really loved it because I have put so many little bits of paper in of things I want to go back to. It's also next to my bed, on my bedside table, because sometimes I just feel like I need to read it. So some of the poems are quite long, like that one, as you can see, I've like highlighted bits in it because that's the section that I want to go back to. And some of them are shorter, if I can find a shorter poem, like as you can see there. But I just felt like her poetry really, really sort of, I guess, spoke to me. I'm going to see if I can try. Like even this little bit here that I loved, because I've highlighted it, it says that I feel like I need to remind myself about quite often at the moment. I hope you walk away tall in the truth that you are not alone. You matter, your story matters, your feelings, they matter. Hold that close. And I feel like at the moment especially, I need to read that a lot. And I just love it. And I think if you've struggling in life or your mental health and things like that, then I think this book will help you quite a lot to read. So yeah. The next book is, now you may have actually seen the film of this as well. It's on Netflix at the moment, I think still, and it's called Call Me By Your Name by Andrew Eichmann, probably butchered his surname as well. And it's just such a lovely book, and the film is beautiful as well. So I read the back of this as well. So it says, during a restless summer on the Italian Riviera, the fact that it's set in Italy is extra points. If you don't know, I got married in Italy. I've been to Italy about 5 times. I absolutely love it. A powerful romance blooms between 7-year-old Elio and his father's house guest Oliver, who's about 24. Unrelenting currents of obsession and fear, fascination and desire threaten to overwhelm the lovers, who at first feign indifference to the charge between them. What grows from the depths of their soul is a romance of scarcely 6 weeks' duration, an experience that marks them for a lifetime. For what the two discover on the Riviera and during a sultry evening in Rome is the one thing they both already fear they may never truly find again: total intimacy. I feel like the back actually might put you off because it just doesn't do it justice. Like, it sounds like it's a really sort of girly kind of, I say girly kind of book, like, I don't know, a romance book. And it is a romance book, but it's a lot deeper and more important book than that. And it is quite sad at the end, and it doesn't end at the same point as the film does. It actually goes further into their future and things than the film does. And it's just so beautiful, well written. And yeah, it's just brilliant. So I think even if you think it doesn't sound like from the back that it would be your type of thing, that you're not really into the romance thing, it's much deeper than that and much better than a normal sort of, like, I guess, chick lit kind of book. So the 5th and final book is one that again was suggested to me on Instagram, and I got it, and I know there's been at least one other book that he has released since this one, but this is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. So he was a doctor within the NHS and now he is a comedian, so I'll read the back. 97-hour weeks, life and death decisions, a constant tsunami of body fluids, and the hospital parking meter earns more than you. Welcome to the life of a junior doctor. Oh, got some in my eye, I think. Scribbled in secret after endless days, sleepless nights and missed weekends, Adam Kay's diaries provide a no-holds-barred account of his time on the NHS front line. Hilarious, horrifying and heartbreaking, this is everything you wanted to know, and more than a few things you didn't, about life on and off the hospital ward. So, some people find his book quite condescending, I know that. I didn't find that at all, I just found it funny. And again, a bit like A Man Called Ove, the funny and sort of the sad going together really kind of struck home. And obviously we all here in the UK have a lot of respect and love for the NHS and the people who work within it, and we know that they work extremely long hours and they're not paid as much as they probably should be paid, and I think that just brings it home even more, if you see what I mean, the kind of things that they have to deal with. And I think it takes someone really quite amazing to be a doctor or a nurse or anything like that. I know personally I could never do anything like that. It takes a special kind of someone, and I already have respect for anyone who does that wherever they work within the medical sort of industry or whatever. I think it's just amazing what they do. But yeah, and also he is on gynecology ward at one point, and having been obviously to the hospital and being towards that with the fertility things, because he works briefly on a fertility clinic thing, it just brought a lot home. So some bits were kind of hard for me to read, and some of the things that happened were kind of hard for me to read after everything, but I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was funny, and I think this was one of the books I thought about getting for John for our Christmas Eve book, and I went with Man Called Ove. So yeah, maybe next year that'll be the book I get. I don't know, we'll see. I might read something else this year that I'm like, no, he's got to read that, but we'll see. But yeah, anyway, they are the 5 books that I've chosen this year to show you. I'm going to end the vlog there. It is now Friday and we've just had a takeaway and I feel very full because, as per usual, I've eaten more than I actually can fit in. And my parents are coming round in a bit and it's our week off. Woo! Don't think we're doing anything major, but anyway, I'm excited to have lions and things like that. This week's vlog has kind of been a tale of two halves. Obviously we were like doing stuff at the beginning and then I did the book review, but I just wanted to I guess tell you about the books that I'd read and the books that I like, because I get quite a lot of questions and comments about them, because on social media a lot of my pictures have books in somewhere because I've got so many of them in like every room of the house. And yeah, a lot of people want to know what books I'd suggest and recommend and things like that, so I just wanted to do my top 5 for that reason. Thank you for watching as always, and if you could please like and subscribe to my channel and share this, that would be amazing. As I said in my last vlog, at the moment it's really, really hard because now you have to like put whether it's suitable for kids or not when you're uploading a video, and unless obviously it's like an animation specifically aimed at kids, you have to say it's not aimed at kids because you might have swearing in it or just stuff that kids aren't going to be remotely interested in, and then it kind of like puts you further down in the algorithm so that kids can't find you that easily, which basically means that it's really hard for your video to get seen unless you're one of the big guys with millions of followers. So yes, liking and subscribing is even more important at the moment. But anyway, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Start talking and
Okay.
testing 1 2 3. Don't just look at
Testing.
it. Speak normally.
I don't know, I am, but you can't tell any
Don't put
different.
your hand over it.
But you can't tell any
You
different.
can't yet, but you need to test it.
But how do I?
We'll find out. 'Cause
Okay.
it's recording.
Testing.